Hi friends. It is Wednesday, April 8th. Today is the last day of the week for online learning because, as you may or may not know, the next 2 days we have off as sort of like an April vacation. Okay, so stick with us. You're doing so great. Today we are continuing to work with tangrams, and yesterday, remember, we started with a square made out of different shapes, and then we identified each shape, and today we're going to use some of the shapes to do these tasks, okay? So first I just want to go back and remind you, I'm going to move my computer, remind you what the tangram looked like when we started. So when we started, the tangram looked like this, okay? It had all the different parts, okay? And so today, our tasks are going to be to use these two triangles to make a shape. So let's come back up here and get this situated. So today's tasks are to create a triangle, a square, and a parallelogram, and then we'll see if we get to the challenge, okay? But the key to these tasks is that we're going to try to create a triangle, a square, and a parallelogram only using these two big triangles. So I just took these two big triangles from the tangram, and then we're going to use them to create a triangle and create a square. So remember, a triangle has 3 sides. So I'm going to hold it up here and see if we can do it together. So to make a triangle, I'm going to have to, it's kind of like you take a guess and you see if it works and then you try to rearrange it. So I'm going to just try randomly. Okay, well, that's not going to work because it has way more than 3 sides. This way still has way more than 3 sides. This way, well, that's just a square. Let's see, maybe if I go this way. No, but it looks like I'm kind of close, so I'm gonna maybe go this way. Nope. Maybe if I keep turning it. Oh, look. I just made a triangle out of, let me get some tape, 2 triangles. Hold on, friends. Let me get some tape and I'll put it back up. So do you see how we used 2 parallelograms, 2 polygons to make a bigger polygon. In this case, we used 2 triangles to make 1 triangle. Okay? Now, our next task for today, and what I did, friends, is I cut out more triangles of the same size so that we could use them to now make a square. So today, our next task is to make a square. Let's just, before I move on, Miss Adamson, take it slow. Let's just make sure we have 3 sides and 3 angles on our triangle. So I know this side is 1, this side is 2, this side is 3. We don't count this because it's in the middle of the shape, okay? So 3 sides, and I'm going to star the angles. 1 angle, 2 angles, and 3 angles. So I know my new triangle, made up of 2 triangles, has 3 sides and 3 angles. Okay? Now let's try our next. I'm going to put a check. We did our first task. Now our next task is to make a square out of these 2 triangles. So let's see. Well, that's my triangle. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Oh, look. This looks like a square to me, so I'm going to grab some tape. It's very tricky here. Tape it up here. And let's double check to make sure that this new shape has the features of a square, or characteristics or attributes of a square, okay? Now, I'm sure you all remember that squares have 4 sides, right? So let's count. This is side 1, side 2, side 3, and down here, squishy, is side 4. And then, if it has 4 sides, we know it's also going to have 4 angles, so let's count. I'm going to just put a dot. 1 angle, or 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners, but let's also make sure that our sides are the same length. Let me grab a ruler. Okay, let's make sure our sides are the same length. Okay, this side of this square is about like 4 inches, maybe 4.5. This side is 4.5. Oops. Silly me. This side is about 4.5, and this side is about 4.5. So all the sides, I'm going to just write equal. And remember, our square also has 4 square corners, or 4 square angles. So let's hold up this piece of paper that we know has a square corner. And that one is square, that one is square, that one is square, and this one is square. So it has 4 square angles. I'm going to just draw a square angle sign, okay? So we just did our second task, create a square. Now let's do our third task, create a parallelogram. Let's see. Let's take these last 2 squares and let's try to find out a way to put them together to make a parallelogram. This one seems like it's going to be hard. I'm going to try this first. That doesn't work. I'm going to try this. That doesn't work. Remember, a parallelogram has 4 sides. That's just a triangle upside down. And it also has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Nope. Oops. This looks like a parallelogram to me. Let's tape it up and then let's double check. Okay. A parallelogram has 4 sides. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it has 2 sets of parallel lines. Let's see. I know this line, this side, if I continue it up forever, it's never going to touch with this side. So that's 1 pair of parallel lines. Now this one and this side, if I can continue those on forever, those are never going to touch. So it does have 2 pairs of parallel lines. It has 4 sides. And it has no right angles, and I can double check again using this paper that I know has square angles to see that none of these are square angles or square corners, okay? So look at that. That was super fast. We did our third task for today. The goal of this is to see that you can actually put 2 shapes together to make new shapes. And this is going to come in handy when we start talking about fractions next week and we look at parts and we look at the whole. Okay, so like this is the whole and these are 2 parts. And we're going to talk about that when we go over fractions next week, so just keep it in mind. Now, since we have extra time, let's look at the challenge. So we have to make a triangle out of a square and 2 triangles. So what I'm going to do is take the square from the tangram and the 2 little triangles that are the same size, and let's try to put them together to make a new triangle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my computer again since we don't have room on the whiteboard. Ooh, sorry. Okay, I'm going to put it on this paper. So here's my square and my 2 triangles, okay? So let's try to make, remember we're trying to make a triangle out of these. So let's see. Well, that's not a triangle. Oh, look. I didn't even know I was doing that. I made a triangle. Do you all see it? I'm going to put it up, tape it, and put it up on the whiteboard, okay? So that we can investigate and make sure that our triangle is correct. So I'm going to tape it together. Try to be as neat as I can. Okay, and that's the best I could do. Let's come back up to our whiteboard and put this up here. Let's find a spot. I'm going to just erase. Where's my eraser? And since we know what we had to do, and let's put it up here. So our challenge was to use a square and 2 triangles to make a new triangle. Let's see, does our triangle have 3 sides? 1, 2, 3. Remember, it's not perfect because I had to tape it together and it got a little messed up. And do we have 3 angles? 1, 2, 3. So we did the challenge. Okay? Again, it just shows you that we can make new shapes out of other shapes, okay? Super fun. So you do have a seesaw activity. That was it for math today. We did such a good job. You have a seesaw activity to complete, and then you have a couple days off, and we'll see you again on Monday, okay? Have fun.